Welcome everybody to the 8th edition of the Rise and Shine video series, where we document the progress of our community. We have some really exciting updates for you, not only on construction, but on the evolution of the community itself. And I'm really looking forward to sharing those with you. Here we are at the clubhouse, which we opened up last year, and we've been using it for all kinds of community events like birthday parties, athletic events, or just hanging out at the pool on a hot summer day. We've recently added in a cold plunge right by the pool that's behind me here, but that's not all we have for this planned for this area. Let me show you. Originally, we had a playground planned for this area down here, but we decided to move it above a little bit closer to where the pool area is. And then over here, we have a large space that we can use for an infrared sauna. And what you can also see in the distance over there is the first steps of laying out the new yoga shala for this area. Currently, we have residents who lead breathwork, yoga, fitness, dance classes, all contributed just out of their desire to express themselves and support our community. There's no fee for these services. It's just a part of who we are. So what you see behind me here is phase 2 that I have mentioned earlier. So let's go check it out, and I'll tell you about the areas that we're bringing to market now. Here we are at lot 66 of phase 2. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but we're joined by multiple toucans that are singing in the background. This is one of the lots that is in the Highlands. And as you can see behind me, the clubhouse of phase 1 is just on the other side of the creeks there. That area is also part of phase 2. We call it the creeks because there's one running down each side of that area. The creeks are smaller sized and flatter lots that cater to those that are looking to build a smaller home. In the Highlands here, we have lots that are multiple acres. So for those who are looking for more expansive views or space to keep more animals or just a larger lot to build their homes, the Highlands will be more appropriate. We're rolling out phase 2 in sections. And in this area, we've released actually only 14 lots now because we've already sold 2 and we have contracts out for 2 others. So phase 2 is starting to build on the same momentum that we had for phase 1. From this vantage point, you can also see all the progress of many people's homes, including my brother's. I've talked previously how my father has relocated here permanently, and now my brother has moved here with his family, and his house is under construction right at the top of that hill. Here we are at the Mirador again, which is the future home of the clubhouse that will service all of the community. And I just wanted to show you the kinds of things that pop up here organically. Not long ago, we had a campfire, lit some tiki torches, and some of the kids and adults came up here and camped. Some actually spent the night. Some of us just came up and barbecued and had a little bit of food. But it was a wonderful outdoor, connected to nature activity. And the other thing that is great about this area is that it overlooks the entire valley. So on New Year's Eve, when the whole valley is setting off fireworks, you have this incredible view to ring in the new year. And it was a really lovely time, and we've done it now more than once. In the last update, I talked about how the real gold of RISE Costa Rica is not the structures that are being built, but the community that is emerging. How each resident, when they arrive here, their contribution shapes and molds the community that we have. I mentioned that we're very intentional about the residents that are choosing to live here. And that has created a unified community around shared values. And with that set in place, there are limitless opportunities for our residents to contribute. Not because I'm asking or because others are asking, They see a need and they are filling it. We have artists leading open mic night, which has had ripple effects throughout the community, encouraging all of us to lean into our artistic nature. And also entrepreneurial activity. I thought that that activity might be pointed outward, outside the community, but I was wrong. And already businesses are emerging within the community. And a little bit later, I'm gonna take you up and show you two of those that are fitting into our community beautifully. One of the most rewarding parts of living here is seeing children walk to school, ride their bikes to school, gather in small groups and talk and laugh and giggle as they walk to school. So let's go take a look there and see what's going on with the construction of phase 2 of the school. This amphitheater is not just for the children's performances, but it's also the gathering and entry point for all the kids. They'll get dropped off up there, gather here before they go to their classrooms, and then at the end of the day, spend time here as they're waiting to get picked up if they're not walking back to their homes or riding their bikes. As part of Waldorf philosophy, there's a lot of theatrical performances, so this space will actually get used very frequently, and to be able to bring all the parents, all the other children here to observe the theatrical performance of the kids. As with the previous phase of construction, you can see that most of the structures here are open air with a direct connection to nature. Fresh air flowing through, the sound of the birds or a stream in the background, and a true amazing connection to the natural environment. So this is the future dining area for our students. We make all of the meals that our students consume, and that allows us to make very healthy choices for all of our children, even those with varying diets. There are many parents in our community with a deep connection not only to the Waldorf philosophy, but also the Waldorf network. That gives us a vast array of options to expand and grow our school and our teacher faculty body as the school itself grows. And we're going to be welcoming 2 brand new teachers from the United States who have a deep background in Waldorf teaching in just a few more weeks as the school expands. After years of focusing all my attention on delivering the community components for RISE, I've actually finally started the construction of my house. So I get to share in the same excitement that all the other families are enjoying as they craft their dream home for a life here at RISE Costa Rica. It's an amazing process, and I am also supported by our team in the same way that all the other residents are, and I'm enjoying every component of designing my family's future. We continue to expand and grow the design and construction services team to meet the needs of our residents, and to date, it's performed wonderfully. And I'm so happy that our residents get this level of support in designing their future home. Fresh goat milk for my coffee. Pasture-raised eggs for breakfast. Organic chocolate for me. Here we are at the Stables Cafe with my good friend, Richard Curry. He and his wife are the founders of this amazing business, and I want him to tell you a little bit more about it.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Well, this is the Stables. The Stables is a cafe and market, and it's not just a normal cafe and market. What we basically looked at is, as we lived here, the needs and the desires of the community, and the ability to source some of the nicest food and create a hub and a social place for us all to gather and enjoy the fruits of the beautiful country that we find ourselves in.
So the Stables Cafe is not the only business that has emerged here up at what will be the future commercial area. The Rising Colectivo boutique shop is also opened by residents Shane and Danielle Wagner. And it's also an amazing shop. It sells wellness products, clothes, arts and crafts, things that we need in our daily lives, not just for us as adults, but children as well. I've talked in the past about this being the future commercial area with a portion of it used as a co-working studio and businesses and markets opening up here. But more recently, it's also hosted amazing dinners. We have a gastronomic pop-up that occurs every 2 or 3 months, also run by a couple of residents within the community, where they take a theme and they have this really, really well done dinner experience. And last time it was right here by the fountain, outdoors, candle lit, with violin playing in the background and opera music sung by a local professional. In addition, we've had a pizza jam pop-up where we've set up an open mic just for the kids and made our own healthy pizzas here for them. That was a huge success with 60 plus people attending. It was an absolutely wonderful event. So this commercial area is starting to come alive way earlier than even I anticipated. I thought it might be a couple of years before we had the critical mass to support activity here, but it's happening now. Arriving by plane here to RISE is not only convenient, it's pretty magical. Behind me there is Kinkara, and a lot of international flights to Costa Rica happen to arrive very early in the morning. And with our airstrip here, you can hop on a plane from the international airport and arrive here at Kinkara in time for breakfast. My whole system relaxes the moment I get on those smaller planes from the international airport. I feel like I'm home before I've even arrived. And on that journey, we get to fly over gorgeous mountains, see incredible waterfalls, and a view of the coastline. Contributions come in all forms. I simply got a phone call asking what it would take to upgrade our airstrip so that we can use it year-round. See, sometimes when it rains here, the ground gets a little bit too soft to use and we cannot safely land and take off. The solution to that, while maintaining this beautiful green area, is to press in an HDPE honeycomb that allows the airstrip to be supported both when it is wet and dry. And as you can see, or maybe you can't, it has been installed throughout this entire airstrip. The cost of this installation was close to $250,000. I'm incredibly grateful for our resident for gifting this improvement to our airstrip. But it goes both ways. We as a community are also gifting outward as well. Recently, our community contributed $150,000 to pave the road through Santa Elena. We've also committed over $200,000 towards the upgrade of the water distribution system. But all of that upgrade is actually unrelated to the RISE project. It happens downstream for our property. I'm reminded of a saying I heard a long time ago: when you give more than others think is reasonable, you receive more than others feel is even possible. Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Rise and Shine series. If what we're creating here is interesting to you and you'd like to learn more, feel free to reach out to sales@risecostarica.com and speak with our sales director, Alejandra, or schedule a visit at Kinkara. I'd be happy to see you here. Take care.